Hi, Ian Dainty here, and today I want to talk to you about your client's COI, their cost of inaction. I want to show you how your client's cost of inaction is equal to your value proposition for them. Because of a recent article I wrote on COI, cost of inaction, I've been getting lots of feedback and questions on how to discover your prospects or client's cost of inaction. A lot of people have been asking how to make their prospect or client realize that the status quo is hurting them, probably costing them money, and in some way blocking their ability to move forward. You must try and do two things. One, show them how the status quo is hurting their current situation. Two, show them the value you can bring by changing the status quo. Let's have a look at a cost of inaction I worked out with a company that became my largest client. In a past business, they were losing a lot of money and talent by sticking to the status quo. I started, owned, and operated an IT staffing business a number of years ago. It grew to over 200 people and about $25 million in revenues, annual revenues. The best companies to have as my clients were large companies. Although initially tough to crack into, you always knew that you were going to get paid. That's always nice. They accepted higher rates, and they generally saw you as a long-term advisor after they became a client. Here's my client example. The client was a large Canadian bank. Canada has about 5 or 6 large banks, and they all offer all the financial services you can think of. All of them have large information technology or IT departments, and they all use contractors for various projects. In this bank, almost all of these contractors are independents. Each IT department hired its own contractors as they needed them, and then let them go after the project was completed. These contractors all billed the bank individually, and the IT group, as a whole, mostly didn't know what each of them did unless they were in their own department. I've been trying to get into this one bank for about 2 years. I knew the difficulties they had and the value my company brought to my other clients. I did a lot of digging and found out a lot about how I could not only help, but protect the senior IT people from government interference. Explain that in a sec. And also help these senior IT people get more salary. I found out that it took about 3 months to train a new employee or contractor and how the entire IT department worked and what was common in each project. Because no one in one department knew the skill sets of these contractors that were working in another project in another part of the IT group, they were let go after the project was complete. The 3 months of training went completely down the drain. Also, the government had been sniffing around about this time because many of the independent contractors were either not paying their taxes on time or in some cases not paying their taxes at all. You can imagine the problem that would cause. The government was deciding if these contractors are actually contractors or pseudo-employees of the bank. If they were considered employees, then the bank would be on the hook for these contractors' taxes if the government found that any of these contractors weren't paying their taxes. Also, the bank senior executives got paid partially on lowering expenses in their group and bringing projects in on time. So I approached the bank with a value proposal on 3 fronts. My company would, first of all, take over all the independent contractors at that time, over 100 of them, and we would pay them, send the bank one invoice only, and assign an account executive to manage all these contractors. We showed them what their COI was and the value they would receive by my company managing these contractors for them. Here are the 3 major value factors that bank received. Number 1, they were no longer on the hook for these people's taxes. That was my company's responsibility now. Since they were now paid by my company, but working elsewhere, the government considered them real contractors. I also ensured they paid their taxes by withholding some taxes each pay period. Therefore, the bank wouldn't be audited for these taxes. Number 2, the bank would only get one invoice for all the contractors based on the signed timesheet. So that simplified their accounting and lowered each department's expenses and gave the department executives a small bonus for watching expenses. Another bonus. This also allowed for much easier accounting practices. And number 3, the best benefit was delivered by the account executive. The account executive would find out what all of the projects were going on in the entire IT department. He would know what skill sets each contractor had, and when a contractor finished one assignment, if he or she had the right skill set, that contractor would simply be transferred to the next project, regardless of what department it was in. Because it took 3 months to train a contractor if they left after one assignment, all of that training went out the door. That was costing about $25,000 per contractor per year. And the bank had a turnover rate of approximately 50% of a year for contractors. So we ended up saving the bank over $2 million a year by simply managing their contractors better. So you can see by showing this client their COI, their cost of inaction, they were losing not only a lot of trained talent, but also quite a bit of real money by leaving things as they were, i.e. the status quo. You too can show your prospects and clients how they are losing by doing a bit of digging into the company. You do need to know, however, what value your products and services bring to a client, and realize it is more important to know the value your products and services bring, even though they can differ from one client to another. This will allow you to get at each prospect's COI, and because you are the one to show them their COI, you have now differentiated yourself from your competition. Figure out a way to show COI before ROI, because COI is more powerful than ROI. If you want to know more and want to find out how you can show your clients their COI, their cost of inaction, please contact me through my email listed below, and we'll spend some time looking at how you can show each of your clients and prospects their COI. Thanks a lot for viewing this video, and until next time.